Good afternoon. It's time for yet another NFL Bucky's Mail Day. This is your host, Mike C. And of course, Star Show. As always, it's Bucky. Say hi, Bucky. Bucky says hi. There's a problem on YouTube, and I don't know what the deal is. Because last week's video only did 2, and I just don't think it gets out like it used to. And usually do, 6, 8, whatever. But something's messed up, and I just got an upgrade and still didn't fix it. So I don't know what the hell the problem is. But we're going to keep making them and maybe we'll fix it. I don't know. See what I can do on my end. But not very happy about that because, it takes time and nobody's going to see it. Even though sometimes it's only, 2 or 3, but it's very disappointing. So hopefully we can get this fixed. And it's something with extended videos. It's not doing, I don't know if that's a cause or contributing factor, but regardless. All right, we got a few notes to take care of, Bucky. We'll start with a sad note. Former Pittsburgh Pirate, Cincinnati Red, and I think it was it Oakland? Yeah, Oakland A's. The Cobra, Dave Parker, died. He was only 74, had Parkinson's disease, and unfortunately he passed away. Great player, big guy. He was like 6'5", and big personality. He was really, really good on the Reds. Great on the Pirates. Won a World Championship there, World Series, and I think that's the only one he won. He might have been won another place. I won't swear to that, but yeah, great player. The Cobra, like I mentioned, and he passed away, and our condolences go to his family. I only have 3 things on here, Bucky. The Reds, speaking of the Reds, they're still in 4th place. They've been playing a little better. Lately they've been scoring some runs, which always helps. They're 44-40. They're 5 out. So 4 games above 500. They're hanging in there, but they're not doing a ton really. But we'll keep you, posted on how they're doing. The other big news, and this is the big news of the week, the NHL had their draft, and I watched a good portion of it. Unfortunately, didn't catch the tail end of it because we watched a different show, and I missed a few things. But I'll give you the first 3 picks. The first pick was Matthew Schaefer, a defenseman from the Erie OHL. Went to the New York Islanders. Now, he didn't get a huge sample because he was injured, but he was on the ice. He was brilliant, and I don't think there was any real hesitancy to pick him. They'd always say that, but seasonal, generational talent, and great player. Some of the highlights, very good player. So, congratulations to the New York Islanders. Now, the second pick made me grimace because I really wanted this guy on the Hawks. Michael, where is it now? Michael Miles, I believe his name was. Went to the San Jose Sharks, and ton of goals. He's only 18 years old. He was 6'1", 182, 62 goals, 72 assists. Well, I didn't write his last name on here, but it was Michael Miles, I believe his name was. But a heck of a player. We probably won't see these guys for a while. Some probably not even, the next year. They still got, college to play for, or international league, or, But there's, names to file away in the memory banks. And, a year or two, we'll see what they can come up with. Now, the Hawks picking 3rd. Now, if they had kept their, actual standings, they would have been able to pick this guy, but unfortunately they dropped one. They got a very, very good player, Anton Frondel, center from Sweden, 6'1", 204. So got a little bit of size. He's got a heavy shot, they mentioned. Saw some highlights. I thought it was pretty good from what I saw. And are you going to see him for a while? I'd like to see him get up in the big leagues, but we'll have to wait and see. They had another pick later on, if I can find it. Yes, Velcro Nestrol, from Russia, I believe he was, a right wing, 18 years old, 6'6", 185, out of Massachusetts. And, obviously a big guy. And I don't know anything about him, but that he's big. That's another thing. Now, this is where we turn the TV off and switch channels. Little did I know the Hawks are going to trade back into the first round, which they did. And they drafted forward with the 30. No, that's not right. 29th pick, Mason West from Edina, Minnesota, not far from where we used to live and spent, obviously a lot of time in Edina. Another 6'6" guy, 185, and or excuse me, 6'6", 218. He's a two-sport guy. He was a quarterback of the Edina football team. So he's going to go back to school, finish that. So it may be a while before we see him, and hopefully he doesn't get injured. But the Hawks got some size. I don't have all the rest of the players, but they got I think 4 or 5 at least more picks. They did pick a goalie later on. They got another big guy in there, so they obviously went for size, and which is good because that's what they need. And they had a very good draft with the highlights and the rankings from what I saw. Everybody gave them a great to very, very good draft. And like I said, we won't see it for years, but it was exciting to watch. I think every team had a celebrity or somebody make their pick. I don't think the commissioner made one pick. I really don't remember. Maybe the first one, but so it was exciting to watch. The Bruins made a great pick. It was a hometown Boston College guy. I never heard of most of these guys. I think most people haven't. But it was fun to watch. Like I said, we'll see what happens. But the setting was kind of weird because there weren't really people. I mean, the teams were all on video. They're all. It's almost like a COVID situation, and so that was very disappointing. I think it's a one and done. I don't think anybody really liked that. So they'd show the guy, and then they'd put him in front of this big TV screen, and there'd be your team, and I don't see the purpose of that, to be honest with you. But it was fun to watch, and I'm glad I watched it. Next year, I think it's going to go back to the regular format. We get all the teams and the people in the studio, and that was a bad decision. I don't know why they did that, but congratulations to all the Hawks new players, and Hawks are a very, very young team, maybe the youngest in the NHL, and so they'll be better this year. Will they make the playoffs? They have an outside chance to make the playoffs. They'll be low seed if they do. They're another year or two or more away from being a really good team. We'll see what happens. I might be surprised, but so that was fun to watch. But Bucky, what in the world do you have in front of you? Well, nobody saw it last week. I promised they would have the football magazine in front of Bucky this week, and sure enough, I got it at Walmart, and we were going to go to Barnes & Noble. Didn't have to because they had a last copy there, so I got it. Patrick Mahomes on the cover again for like the 5th year in a row. That's okay. And very good. I leafed through it. Good articles as always. The schedule as always. Draft recap as always. The cheerleader pictures, which really don't interest me at all because it's not that great. But next year's draft, they got a very in-depth coverage about that. So all in all, it was a great great magazine. Thanks to thanks to Lindy Sports for providing that. I might get the other one if I see it at CVS because they do have some money coming there, but I doubt it. We'll see what happens. But I'm very happy with this, and so I only buy probably 2.5 magazines at the most. I'll say 3, but 2 for sure. And so I'm always happy to get this. I got to read it, and not just let it sit on the shelf. And so a lot of information, not totally up to date because new things are happening. Now, not a lot has happened with the Lions. Still, does this player sign? Do they trade? I really don't think they're going to trade. At least for Hendrickson. I just don't feel it. They would have done it by now, I think. There's guys on the Browns they were talking about. J.J. Watt from the Steelers, who just made a big trade today. That's a possibility. There's players out there. They're in no hurry to make a decision like that. So eventually they will get somebody. Right now, it's just not really necessary. Training camp, I think I think their first game is 4 weeks away. The Hall of Fame game, which I've mentioned many times. So I still got some time. Right now, it's just kind of a down period. There's a lot of rumors. Does this player sign here? They trade. Until I hear something specifically, I'm not really going to comment on it because this is all hearsay and all rumors and you can do that till the cows come home, and it's not that important really. But they will make a move. I'm sure of that. They haven't signed the Darius Smith yet, and I have a feeling they're not going to sign him. It's just my gut feeling. I can see them, go to training camp, as a veteran, but at some point you have to, I believe. And I think they would have done it by now. Again, they might just wait till the last moment. But you can sign with other teams, and other teams have shown interest. So that's my prediction. I don't think they're going to trade for Hendrickson, or Hendricks, I think his name is. Excuse me. And I don't think they're going to sign for Zadarius Smith. They might sign the Cleveland Brown player. There's still going to be cuts made, for training camp. So they'll get somebody, like I said. And will it be enough? I sure hope so. But so we got the 4th of July coming up, which is on a Friday. I want everybody to stay safe. Don't blow your fingers off or something, something stupid. We're not going to, buy any fireworks. I asked Carla if she wanted. She's kind of like, why would I waste money on that? We used to do that back, when I was back home, but that's okay. We got a good view of the city fireworks. We might sit out back. There's other, views we can look at. We'll see what happens with that. I always loved fireworks. And the weather's been kind of weird. It's been, stormy and thunder booms out there, some lightning. We've got, some rain, which we need still, but it's been warm. I mean, one day it was, 70 something, the next day it was 90. So it's kind of, messing with my sinuses a little bit, but what can you do? So yeah, so I finally got the magazine. I'm excited to read it. I have an eye appointment coming up on Thursday. I get new glasses, a new prescription. So I got a lot of stuff to read because I promised Carl I'd read, a bunch of stuff. I got, books I promised, and so I'm going to be busy doing that and try not to watch, too much TV. A lot of stuff's going on. Trump's got the big, beautiful bill to sign if it passes. One thing I thought was kind of crappy that the Democrats did, they purposely just delay things and make things longer. They forced, I think it was the Congress to read 916-page, bill or something like that. That this big beautiful bill is made of, just to delay it, just to cause drag it out. It's like, that kind of sportsmanship is just, it's typical. I don't want to get this in a political thing, but it's like, now I know there's some changes and some, make sure they hide something there, which the Democrats did a lot of when Biden was president. But so, they probably both do it, but it just seemed like ulterior motive on this one. Just because, anything to, slow Trump down. So there's another shooting yesterday in Idaho. So our thoughts and prayers go out to those families. Firefighters got ambushed. They purposely set a fire, and this monster started shooting at them and killed 2 firefighters. You don't expect that. Injured another, and very sad. I don't have the details as far as who it was, if there's a motive, manifesto. I don't know yet. But it's like, man. All right, Bucky, that's getting pretty heavy. So for Mike C, and I'm done here. Yep, oh yeah, easy. So for Mike C, of course, Star Show, as always, Bucky says hi. And have a safe and happy 4th of July. Grill some steaks like we are. And, share with your family, be outside. And hopefully this gets to more than 2 people. I can't promise that. But, all right, bye now.